Everybody in Haiti lives in the market areas. That's how they live. They have something they sell. They'll buy a few pieces of clothing. They'll do something and sell it for a few pennies each day. But that's how they all survive. They call the women Madame Sarahs because in the trees are these little birds that kind of infest the palm trees, and you hear them. They're chirp, 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 and there's millions of them. I mean, everywhere you go out in the countryside, and that's what the bird's name is, Madame Sarahs.
Madame Sarahs.
And so they call the market ladies Madame Sarahs because everywhere you go, there are millions of women hawking their wares. You know.
Right.
The pill guy walks around with all kinds of different pills. So they'll say, oh, give me an amoxicillin. I have a headache. But amoxicillin isn't for headaches. It's for infections.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they buy the pink one or the white one, and they trust that the pill guy...
The pharmacist becomes the local doctor.
He's the doctor. The pill guy is the doctor. He may not even be able to read or write, but he tells them what pill is good and what pill isn't good. He's like the local he's a walking pharmacist.
Okay.
But he's not trained in pharmacy. So he may say, oh, you know, the lady down the street had a headache the other day and she bought the pink pill. And so he sells them the pink pill, but the pink pill is an antibiotic for infection, not for headache. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's medicine. That's the closest 90% of the population gets to medicine. They probably have a little bit more access now that all the foreign agencies are in the country because of the earthquake, but not very much. Still not very much. These are all vats through here where all the gas stations, all the tankers come in here to deliver oil. It's an island. Everything Haiti has is imported. The Dominican Republic on the other side has been much more industrious about supporting itself with crops. I mean, they grow everything from strawberries to asparagus to coffee. They plant tobacco, but the Haitians haven't been able to do that. They haven't been able to maintain that sense of independence like the Dominicans have. And so they're dependent upon everything that comes in.
This is charcoal in these bags here.
Charcoal. They take the trees. That's the reason why the whole land is deforested. They take They take the trees and they burn them and smolder them.
These are people these houses were destroyed in the earthquake, and they're living here now 2 years, just about 2 years in January.
In these tents.
In these tents. This is a small one. There are tent cities with some 40,000 people. There's still approximately 1 million people within the metropolitan area that are still living in tents. And where we're working now, today, there's handicapped people still under tents and tarps.
And that's the way most Haitians live. You see the roof there, old pieces of tin with pieces of rocks on it to hold it. When the wind comes through, they take the tin, the old pieces of tin, they're full of holes, but they put blocks on top because of the wind to try to keep it down on their roofs so it's not lifted up. This is the orphanage where Pastor Francois, the handicapped pastor that we work with, grew up. He grew up in an orphanage himself. Because he was handicapped, he was abandoned. And so that's why he decided to have an orphanage. But the kids in the orphanage, some of them are handicapped and they've been abandoned. Some of them are handicapped and the parents just can't care for them, so they're in the orphanage. But they still visit and are part of the child's life. And then some of the children are children of handicapped people. Okay, now you see over here on this left here, this is a makeshift kind of like little motorcycle over here. Wheelchairs that they took plastic chairs and made wheels for them and stuff for their wheelchairs. They hate their picture being taken, which, believe it or not, I'm happy to see, because when we came here after the earthquake, men all over Haiti are very proud and they just give you a hard time about everything, you know. When we came after the earthquake, they didn't give us a hard time, and I said, oh my goodness, they were so crushed and devastated by what happened, you know.
They were afraid. They
were afraid. They were in such fear, and that broke me down more than anything, to see that, you know, even the pride they had in themselves had been shaken loose.